wasn't photographing her for a casting. I was photographing her for a buyer. And I didn't realize it until it was almost too late. I've worked as a photographer for years. Models, headshots, brand shoots. It started with a message from a number I didn't recognize. Need a photographer today. Quick shoot. Cash. I needed the money. Rent was due. So I took the address and went. It wasn't a studio. Just a plain building with a locked door and no sign. A guy opened immediately, like he'd been waiting. He smiled and said, "Perfect timing." Something about it made my stomach tighten. But I followed him in anyway. Inside, the setup looked normal. Backdrop, lights, camera gear. There was a videographer too, filming everything like behind the scenes. The weird part was the vibe. Nobody was friendly. Nobody was joking. A few minutes later, the girl walked in. Early 20s, nervous smile. The guy in charge turned warm instantly. "Hey, you made it. You're gonna do amazing." She smiled back. I started shooting. Normal. But the guy in charge kept checking his phone. Not texting. Watching. Like he was tracking time. Then I glanced at the videographer's monitor. In the corner of his screen was a blinking label. Live. I froze. I'd never been on a shoot in my life that was being streamed live to someone. Why would you stream a photo shoot? And more importantly, who was watching? I didn't say anything. I kept shooting. But now I was watching everything. His phone, the live feed, the videographer filming her non-stop. The girl tried to make conversation. "So, what brand is this for?" The guy smiled. "We'll talk about that after." She smiled nervously. "Can I see some of the pictures?" I wanted to warn her. I wanted to tell her to run. But they were right there, so I nodded. "Yeah, of course." She stepped closer to the guy in charge, asking questions, trying to understand what was going on. And while they were talking, I shifted my angle. That's when I saw it. There was a mirror behind him, and in the reflection, I caught his phone screen for less than a second, but it was enough. Her face, a price, a countdown timer, and bids jumping. Less than a minute left. My blood went cold, because now the live feed made sense. This wasn't a shoot. This wasn't a casting. This was an auction, and she was the product. I kept my face neutral, because if they realized I knew, I wouldn't leave either. So while they were distracted, I pulled my phone out like I was checking a message, and I texted my friend. "Call the police now. I'm at this location. A girl is being auctioned off. I think they're about to abduct her." I sent the location and locked my phone. The guy smiled again. "Perfect. Go to the side room for a minute. Change outfits. We'll continue." She nodded and walked into the back room. The door closed, and I heard the lock click. The guy checked his phone and sighed like he was annoyed. "Jerry just called. Police got a tip. Time to disappear." Someone muttered, "What about the girl?" And his voice stayed flat. "It's over. Let her think she won." And then they were gone. And all I could think was, if I hadn't seen that live label, I never would have watched the mirror. If I never watched the mirror, I never would have seen the auction. And she would have disappeared before anyone even knew she was in danger.